Hello, Jeff.
Hello, Griffin. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm recovering from watching a computer screen for hours on end
So
and furiously typing notes into a Google Doc.
Well, now, this is the best remedy for your exhaustive E3 staycation.
Another thing, F3.
They say all things great come in threes.
Go up from E to F.
That's right. One more level. I mean,
Then we'll go to G4.
oh,
May you
yeah.
rest in
Look
peace.
at that hot cursor.
Oh, that is a good cursor. That is a cursor that fully leverages the horsepower of the Game Boy. All 192 pixels.
So, we're not actually playing on the Game Boy, playing on the... what was it? Game Boy Advance thingy connector for the GameCube.
The strange apparatus that you put together in your basement.
It's the upside down tower of power for the GameCube.
Like Dr. Frankenstein.
It's the base of space.
Yeah. So hey, we're playing this video game.
Uh-huh.
It looks like there's some water pouring out of that cannon thing.
What the hell? I thought it was an octopus.
Tell me about the Pure Land.
So yeah, this will have more color than you would see if you were playing on the Game Boy. But it did come out for the Game Boy.
I just lost your video, but hey, it doesn't really matter.
Video? Oh god. Well, it's saying dash 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 dash. Behold the sealed city. Darn.
You can probably just switch it back on.
Okay, I'm gonna try that.
Alright.
Video. Hey, I'll tell you what you missed. Still
Sweet.
stuff falling out of a jug.
So let's set this. Okay, first of all, we're playing the Final Fantasy Legend 3, known as Saga 3 in Japan. It is a Game Boy title. It was presented in glorious grayscale.
Green and black scale.
Yes, green and black scale.
The
Sorry.
finest of grayscales.
Dot matrix.
Oh!
So do you remember the story, Griffin?
Oh,
'Cause
hell
I
no.
remember it a little bit.
No.
Okay, so
yeah.
the story is basically that for some reason, in the future, the entire Earth gets flooded. And you, this is a really weird thing about the story. You are a group of kids sent back in time from the future to save the past.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah. A fact which is almost
Wait.
entirely glossed over in the beginning of the
To
game.
save the past?
You're sent back in time from the future in the beginning of the game. Like, as babies.
Oh.
They're like, oh my god, the world is flooding. Send these babies back in time. It's the most RPG of RPG plots. Also, great names. What are you gonna call this one?
We'll go with...
Sea
Oh,
Beast?
where...
How about name him the game FAQs mod?
How about Seabiscuit?
Oh, I see that as Cub Scout.
Or Cub Scout. Oh, no. What?
What are you doing?
I pressed the B button and I went back.
So for me, this is the hardest boss battle in any RPG game. It's
Okay.
the name screens.
Yes.
Yesterday I was playing Tamagotchi Life, and I spent literally 30 minutes on the name screen for my island.
Wow.
Bad thing. Leia. Name her boobs. Boobs. Name her boobs.
Oh,
Name her
heroin.
boobs. Was the other one a heroine?
I don't remember. I think it was
I don't
like...
think she was. I think she was just a girl.
friend.
Heroin user.
Alright. We have our party. We beat the first boss. And now here we are at the tutorial.
Yeah. So this game, as I was saying before, it's actually not a Final Fantasy game, despite the title.
Secrets.
Yeah, it's made by a different team. It's made by the Saga people, and we never got the first. Well, we did get the first Saga games because they're for the Game Boy, but we weren't introduced to the Saga series in the West until Saga Frontier for the PlayStation. And Griffin, did you play Saga Frontier?
I did not. I only know everything that I know about Saga Frontier. I remember from you telling me it in middle school.
Saga Frontier is it's a very strange game. You were given 7 characters, and they all had different stories, but they all took place in the same world. And some of them have really small stories. Like one of them, the actual story is like maybe like 2 hours long, if even. But it was a really ambitious game, and there were a lot of really weird and cool secrets hidden in the world.
Oh,
what you doing? Don't let them peek beneath.
Game Boy player.
Don't let them peek beneath the hood like this.
There's no hood. This is the thing. Look, it's still playing too.
That's so cool. What was I saying? Oh yeah, another big thing in the game was that your characters, they would learn techniques not by leveling up, but by sparking them. And this is a concept that's unique to the Saga series. Essentially, you're able to learn techniques in the middle of battle. Basically using a particular weapon that's affiliated with that technique, or using another technique that could lead to that technique. So like a battle will start out and like you'll be using the punch command, and then like you'll spark like the kick ability or something. And then like from the kick ability you might spark an ability called sliding, which does extra damage to ground enemies or something. And that was kind of the central conceit of like combat. Another thing is there were no traditional levels in the game. You just kind of gain stats for killing enemies. And you kind of gain stats like roughly based on the stuff you use. It's kind of like FF2.
Okay.
The most hated Final Fantasy. But this game is, amongst all of the Saga games, this is the most like traditional one. And the most, I guess, of the 3 Saga games that made it over to the US, I think this was the most accessible.
I gotcha.
Okay. How much got cut out there?
No, you're still here.
Okay. But yeah, so Griffin, you didn't play any of them except for this one, right?
I played 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, nice.
And
so you remember
Adventure,
the first one,
but I don't
go ahead,
remember
sorry.
them at all. I remember buying books, I remember eating the meat, and I remember being completely befuddled by collecting little Orby-shaped things, and also not understanding what a mattock is for about 13 years of my life.
Well, the Matic was in Adventure.
Yes,
so
it
you probably
was.
played
Yeah,
Adventure as
that's
well,
my
yeah.
experience of the Final Fantasy Game Boy games that were secretly Saga games.
Well, FF Adventure was actually a mana game, so
Oh, really?
yeah.
Huh.
So you're wrong.
Damn it! My life is a lie.
Actually, speaking of FF Adventure,
Speaking of your life being a lie,
it
nobody's
was
on
remade.
the other side of this call.
It was remade for the Game Boy Advance as Sword of Mana, which was a great little game that I highly recommend.
Huh.
Anyway, another thing that you touched on, Griffin,
I'll
is
miss
that
her. Let me
You'll
tell
miss
you about boring Borgin. Keep going, just ignore me.
I'm trying to decide whether to let you say your things.
Borgin!
Read it. You have to read it all.
Borgin! Where are the kids going?
This is the important story about going back in
To
time.
the past! Past quackers!
Wait, sir.
Time dimensions! I'm having a stroke!
I like how they're like, put the kids in the machine. They're like, what about this
You're
bird that
mad!
can save the world? No, screw it. Put the kids in there.
Yeah, okay, there's only 3, so where'd our 4th come from? Mystery.
It's a present day person. Spoilers.
Damn it.
Still wish to go? Yes, we 3 decided that we can't close our eyes to our own future. Anyway, you were starting to say before, Griffin, that you remember the meat from Final Fantasy Legend. That's another cool little piece about these games.
Yeah.
They feature races, and humans are kind of like boring. They just are basically like your melee type characters.
Mhm.
But then you have mystics, which are like the magic users, and they are more like magically attuned. Some of them learn spells naturally. I don't
Really?
recall how mystics are represented in this game. I think they are in this game. But then you also have monsters,
Yes.
which can basically they can change their form by eating meat. And it's this really kind of convoluted system, but after any given battle, there's like a chance that that monster will drop meat.
Mm-hmm.
And if you eat the meat and you eat it in like a certain order or with certain criteria met, then you can transform into various monsters with completely different movesets.
Yeah,
It's like pre-Pokemon.
absolutely. I remember just loving that part of it. Like
Yeah,
eating every
and
piece of meat I
invariably-
could.
Invariably, yeah, like you eat the meat and you have like the most powerful monster in the world, and you eat like final boss meat,
Right.
and then you turn into like a slime.
Yep.
With like 4 HP. You're like, our system makes no sense.
Yeah.
But it was really fun.
Plus, it was a really good
Um,
way to, like, if you sucked at the game like I did, you could just kind of, like, lean on your monster because it offered, like, countless attacks, right? Because your attacks were limited
Yeah.
by, like, they had kind of like a decay to them. Like, you'd buy a sword and it'd be 100 each time you use it, it would
Correct.
drop by 1. But your monster, as long as you would, like, change monsters, right, it would refresh the amount of abilities that it had.
Yeah,
so if you
you're
didn't want to
touching on
spend any
another
money
thing.
buying stuff or healing, you could just constantly be bouncing to your monster to do all that stuff and grind that way.
Yeah, so you're touching on another piece, Griffin, which is basically that every item in this game, well, not in this game actually. This is again the more accessible of them all, but in the first two games, every item has like a set durability. So like swords will only have 50 uses,
Mm-hmm.
and after you use them all, it's gone. You can't repair it.
Mm.
But like you said, the monsters, you can recharge their moves by simply eating more meat.
Yeah.
So they're a little easier to use in that way. And also, you don't need to grind.
Radar!
That's the other nice thing about monsters. You can just eat the meat, level up, and be done. Whereas with humans, you have to kill, actually in the first
Might
game,
be
they had this
a
really
missing unit.
cool... God damn it, Griffin. You keep reading those texts. Find float.
Now float.
We have to look for floaters.
Float. You can fly then. Monsters live
Actually, you know what? The ship that you eventually get in this game has the Flusher EX in it.
there.
So
Oh,
that's
baby.
probably a good place to look for the floater. You're actually in the ship, which you eventually get in this game, which allows you to travel between different epochs in this game. Like you
Ah.
can go. It's like pre-Chrono Trigger, Chrono Trigger. You can go between the past, present, and future.
Oh, neat.
It's really cool. And
Cool.
you're in the ship right now, and you're looking at it. And one of the central conceits in this game is that you find different parts of this ship over time, which you can
Oh,
upgrade.
you cannon.
Yeah, and once eventually you'll be able to fly this thing. It turns into your airship, and you can actually get into battles while you're on it. And then
Whoa.
those weapons are used mid-battle at random intervals. It's
Oh,
really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, this game's really good. Frankly, all of the Game Boy Final Fantasy Legend games are really cool.
This is the one I spent the least amount of time with. Oddly enough, the 1 and 2 I spent quite a bit of time in. Was, pretty.
Yeah. I was gonna say the other piece that we missed out on for transformations was robots.
Oh
You
yeah.
remember robots? Yeah. So robots are kind of like monsters in that you can eat parts to change forms, but they're dependent upon the equipment you put on them. So like you could load them up with like just lots and lots of weapons to buff their attack stat,
Mm-hmm.
or you could dump like 4 chest plates on them to buff their defense. So they're very what's the word? They're very versatile. But they can't use magic at all. And when you throw a weapon on them, its uses are halved. Although they can replenish it by sleeping in it again.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Was that in all the games?
It wasn't in the first game,
Okay, that.
but
Yeah.
it's in 2 and 3. This game they actually they expanded the monster system significantly. I think you can turn into like beasts and then monsters. I can't remember what the distinction is anymore. But there's 2 classes of monster you can be, and there's also 2 classes of robots. You can either be cyborgs or full robots.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Never go full robot.
Never go full robot.
Yeah.
The other funny thing about this game is, of all the Game Boy Final Saga games, this is the only one that auto-targets new enemies after you kill the existing one.
I noticed that when I picked this up, a year ago or something, and I was like, oh, geez, here comes a bunch of misses. But no, I was surprised to see that it has that, like, kind of RPG level of, well, I guess just, like, design that is common nowadays.
Yeah, this one, it feels like it's the most modern in its design, and I think it's kind of, it enhances the playability, but I think it some of the magic is lost, I think, although I think it is a much more kind of coherent game. Much more easily accessible, just someone could pick up and play it. The other games are definitely worth checking out, but they're kind of more mired in the past.
Yeah.
2 is kind of the bridge. Like, 2 has some of the same kind of collection elements of this one, and some kind of more modern touches. 2 has this really cool thing where you're collecting these special, like, magical crystals, and
Yes.
there's like 77 of them.
Yes.
And what was I going to say about that? Different crystals, like some of them are like crystals that allow you to progress in the story, and they give you special world abilities. And then other ones like increase your strength. Others give you magic.
Found Monst.
Also, turn your video on, Griffin.
Oh, okay. Jeff, I found Monst. Should I eat it? Should I eat it?
Yes.
Should I eat it?
Yes, eat the F Drake's meat.
F Drake's
F
meat.
that Drake.
F Drake. Who eats it? What happens? Well,
Started
this guy
from the
needs
bottom.
help.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Turned into silver.
F Drake.
What does that mean?
Open the menu, let's find out.
Ah!
So you're a beast man right now. You're not a full monster yet. But go ahead and look at your talents.
Okay. For Leah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
She got kick.
Okay, so all this stuff indicates whether you're weak to stuff. Go to see if she has any magic. I don't think that monsters get magic though.
Magic monster. Ice. She still has ice. She had that before.
Okay, I don't think she can. I'm not sure if she can use it. I think beasts might be good at like using weapons or something, or I mean using melee attacks, like the karate type moves.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that tells you how many units of the Talon are left. The Talon is the ship that you get in this
Consult.
game. Which
Consult.
Consult.
Teach me your secrets, radar.
You should probably go rest at the inn.
What inn?
I don't know.
This one?
Probably one in the town. Yeah.
Oh, whatever. I could make it through another battle. Oh, coffee shop. And okay, in this place they have the music players in here, right? Where is it? Oh.
Maybe I can't recall. I think in one of the places they do. Maybe.
So this is like we didn't want to put a bar because then we got to get a different rating.
It's a milk bar, man.
Milk bar.
Get your milk there.
Get your milk on. Get milked.
Haven't you played any Super Nintendo era RPG?
No,
they
never.
Only serve milk. God damn it.
All right, I'm not gonna go to these stores. Well, okay, I'll go to one just to show it off. This town is very green.
Yes, it is. Yeah, this is pretty standard fare. So in the older games, these would all have durability counters next to them. The standard's usually 50, but some of the better items had fewer uses.
Ooh, that place looks exciting. Hey, lady, move it.
That's a magic store.
Oh, thanks for telling me. Holy crap!
Oh yeah, this game has a jump button. I forgot there's some light platforming in this game.
Oh my god, it's like Mystic Quest.
Yeah, it's a cool little game. It's very quirky. It's a really interesting combination of, like I said, of kind of the saga stuff and the more traditional FF fare.
Aww. Can't find me.
Hide under the bed. Keep the monsters away.
I can't stick my sword out in bed and look interesting. Oh!
Ouch!
Oh! Don't jump on the bed!
I like how the presumption is that you are actually under the bed. That's great.
I'm in your shop!
Oh shit.
Good night.
This also eliminates the issue of getting stuck behind a slow-moving NPC.
Yeah. Where's your water
Will
fountain?
not jump the fountain, you asshole. Oh, you want to go on the slide?
Yes.
You can jump up the slide.
No, that kid's. It's his turn first. All right, after you, guy. What a hog! What? Push A to get. Oh, I see the slide. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That just didn't
jump up.
register.
Jump. No, other way. Jump.
I did.
Did you make it up the slide?
I got one step up.
It's all it
God,
takes,
this kid's a freaking jerk. Man, if this was
every
Mystic
belief
Quest,
got
I
that
would
it's
totally
playground.
slash you. Yay.
Also turn your video on.
Oh.
So one of our internets is the greatest of all time.
All right, we conquered that town. We slid the slide. Whoa! What the heck was that?
Yeah. That's another place you go to. I can't remember what it's called anymore, but
Horrible
you eventually
flying
find
death
a way to get there.
eyeball?
What's that?
Is it horrible
Death
flying
Isle?
death eyeball? That thing was terrifying.
Oh yeah. Actually, I think it's it's either Solaris or Shavat.
Shivat? You don't
Remember
say.
Shavat?
I do remember. How did I
From-
forget Shivat? Yeah.
I don't know, man.
How do I actually auto? Go.
I don't know.
Oh,
never
I
used
see.
auto.
Maybe I have to control one, and then everybody else will go from there. Yeah. Okay.
Auto is
Interesting.
noobs, man. Also, those dudes with the giant masks on look freaking terrifying. Are those
Yeah.
like Kabuki warriors?
Those like Tengu man. Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
I don't think it ever occurred to me in the past that those were
Kabuki.
straight up traditional Japanese, like Kabuki style people.
Right. It's like, oh man, it's Blueface hair guy.
Oh, look, it's that salamander that you always see in Japanese games.
Yeah. Must be playing a JRPG. F Drake.
Apparently, even in the past, they felt that Drake did not deserve all the fame he got.
Kick.
They've seen the future.
A mighty
and they
blow.
feel Drake is overrated.
Oh man, I got so much GP. Did you see that?
Yeah, man.
Oh Jesus, what am I gonna do with that?
Just buy heroin.
I got a user, so I probably need some. Oh, that looks like I need to go there.
That looks like a place you should ascend. Try using some magics.
All right, I'll turn auto off.
Oh yeah, Myron is freaking badass too.
Yeah, I assume he's like your like assistant. That's your tutorial man. That's just like early Tella, like use me in with every power.
Basically, yeah. You have a place in your party for guests, and you get guests throughout the quest. I think even at the last boss, you have a guest. And that way, it's also kind of like Mystic Quest. That game had guests, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Mystic Quest. You always had a guest essentially.
Yeah. That's been something that they've been doing in the series since. Well, not in the series, but in the Game Boy series, they did it starting with Legend 2, and then they continued in this game. And yeah, they'll be there either for story reasons or just so you have like a powerful dude. His axe is really strong, I seem to recall.
The guest. Myron's got a strong axe. He's been working out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa!
See? Look at that.
Holy gosh.
Just killed that hooligan.
Tamed him.
I used battle against hooligan.
Hooligan fell. Get really sleepy.
He couldn't get up.
Oh, turn into Beast Nymph. Oh, yes!
I'll eat some parts.
Cyborg.
Put some parts on someone.
Cyborg Hooligan? Yes, install.
Put him on someone. Doesn't
Just
matter.
go to Lando.
Sure.
Turn him into Lobot. Cyborg
Yeah,
Thief.
he's a cyborg.
What?
So we're seeing the transformation system in effect in this game. It's more complex in this game than it is in other games.
Yeah, since you just don't have your straight up monster character that you are transforming, like it looks like there's a billion more options. Oh, those look disgusting.
There are, and I think as a cyborg you can turn back into a human and into a beast man. But I think once you either go full robot or full monster, you can't turn back
Never go full robot.
until you get the Flusher EX, which turns you back into whatever. Turns you into a
Ah.
human.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Is that like saying that like the kids of the future's genetic structures are so effed up from like, oh, even Mystic Quest chests?
Yeah, there's
the-
definitely a lot of stuff there. Yeah.
They just, they're just like, if you introduce anything foreign into their body, it just completely reacts and destroys itself.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also a video.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you can see kind of the seeds of a lot of other games in this game, like the floating island.
Yeah.
As you said, all the Mystic Quest crap.
It's not crap.
Just lots of really interesting stuff.
Oh, oh man.
Listen, I can't believe you've never played either Saga Frontier title.
Nope.
That somehow surprises me.
It's on my to-do list. But I just remember, like, very distinctly you being, like, intimidated by them. And I was like, well, that's probably too much for me then.
No, I actually went back at one point and beat all 7 quests of Saga Frontier. It doesn't take more than about 20 hours.
Okay.
If you just go at a regular pace. The thing is, once you've done all the stuff in the world in one
Ooh.
game, You don't have to do it again in all the other games.
Of course I steal. That guy looks like he's got some weird shit on him.
You stole pig dung.
Oh, yes, Quake.
Quake.
Oh,
no,
I
you're
can't
weak
use
to
it.
Quake. No, you're weak to Quake. That's all that means.
Oh,
no,
really?
you're immune to Quake. You're immune to Quake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
The circle means
fine.
immune, and the X means weak.
Wait, what just happened there? Dive. Magic. Okay, still-
Wait, she doesn't know dive and kick?
Ha! She should really go to more parties. Should get out more. Alright, Myron. Use your battle. Dang it.
This also has some pretty sick music. I like this game's music.
Yeah.
The music in all the Final Fantasy Legend games was pretty great. A lot of the stuff in the first game is just completely iconic to me.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Alright,
like the
stealing
boss music when you're fighting
booblets.
the four fiends or whatever.
Mm.
Remember that music?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Well, fine. When you fight God at the end,
Wait, what? That doesn't sound like a JRPG.
you literally fight God at the end
Of one?
of all of them. But no, but
Oh.
this game, I think this game may be one of the first to start the fighting God trend.
Huh. What, Windtalker?
No, the creator. That's the
Oh,
that's
it's just
the
called
boss.
Talker. It's just called Talker. Okay.
Oh, okay. Windjammers?
Windjammers. This game needs more frisbees. You're absolutely right.
But yeah, in the first Final Fantasy, you don't fight God. You just fight some dude who's powerful.
Dog. Fight dog.
No, you fight Garland,
Hmm.
who's turned into chaos.
Huh.
You fight the first boss of the game, 1,000 years in the past, traveled from the future. I shit you not.
Makes total sense.
It was the beginning of what would be the most convoluted series of all time.
Oh, good. Does he have any talents? Oh, Jesus Christ. Whatever. Stick with what we know here, guys. Don't get fancy.
Swing that battle axe.
Dive! Good job.
Put the sparkles on the orc. What did you steal from the orc, by the way?
I don't think I've successfully stolen anything yet.
Fuck you, Lando.
Yeah, really. Orc, orc. Orc, orc. Orc, 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 orc.
So these games are really noteworthy because I think in the world of like the Game Boy, like at the point that these came out, there was like there was your Mario, your Tetris. You got some good platformers. You had some good
Oh!
oh yeah, you can switch
Ah!
characters. She looks like Jinx.
It looks like Jar Jar Binks.
So yeah, you had some good platformers. You had some good like puzzle games, but this was like a really deep and long game, like probably like 20 hours long. I don't think this is like my first exposure to like a lengthy, meaty portable experience. This
Yeah.
series, and I love them for that.
And I think I was on the less informed side of it, where I was like, "Oh, cool! These say Final Fantasy," like, and I bought them.
Oh yeah, I had no idea that they weren't FF games when I played them. I still love them anyway. You know?
Yeah, of course. But that's the only reason. I was like, I like Final Fantasy games, so pick it up for
Oh,
my
yeah.
Game Boy, and it was way too much for me.
I on the other hand persevered even as I died mercilessly because the first game is really hard if you don't know what you're doing. Even if you know what you're doing, it can be challenging sometimes. Also, can you video please?
Yep. Did you see that turtle? Look at that turtle.
Whoa! Yeah, this game had the best art.
All right,
Although
everybody-
the bosses in FF1 were pretty sweet, I will say. Some pretty good art for the bosses.
Huh.
I was just amazed by the level of like effort and what they managed to coax out of such a small screen with so few pixels and so little horsepower. Just a really, I don't know, really well-made game.
Well, I'm going to restart this somehow.
Why are you doing that?
So I can load and see what the first or what the previous owner's save was. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Hopefully they were far, far into the game. The last boss in this game was really hard and had some pretty sick music.
one of my favorite things about getting used games is going and seeing where the previous person who owned it was.
My favorite thing is depriving
Great.
the original creators of potential sale. My favorite thing.
Suck
Also,
it,
that's a real bummer.
Sunsoft.
Yeah, it's a real bummer that we can't. There's nothing else. That's very sad. Fuck that guy for deleting his save. Fuck him to hell.
Yep.
Also, we should have probably fought the first boss, but oh well.
Oh, Jesus Christ, we would have never made it.
We were like 2 feet away from him.
What? What do you mean? There was like puzzles coming up. It was terrifying.
I think the full extent of the puzzles in this game are like jump over the pit.
Well, that was getting pretty intense there. I don't know if you noticed. I think that this has been a very good half hour of Final Fantasy Legends 3 Jeff Brewer.
Hello.
I learned a lot.
Bye. You're a robot?
I learned a lot, and I'm gonna go eat some meat and turn into a robot.
Do it. No, you're gonna turn into a beast, man.
All right, I'm gonna
And
go
then a
eat some
monster. You
nuts
eat
and
another
bolts.
You can eat one piece of. It's just like the Androscoggin River in Maine. You can eat one thing from it, but if you eat 2 things from it, horrible things will happen. It's actually a true statement.
Really?
You're supposed to eat 1 fish from that river a year.
Huh.
Anyway.
Well, on that note, Final Fantasy Legends 3, thanks for playing, Jeff. However that works. This old game, Boss Brill, I'm Griff Hoffman, signing off.
Bye.